Hi, this is Dino. Welcome back to this mini lecture on framing. We're going to be talking about framing today. Here's a quote from Lakoff and Johnson: "Metaphors we live by, but our conceptual system is not something we are normally aware of, and most of the little things we do every day, we simply think and act more or less automatically along certain lines. We just make assumptions based on things. We don't really think about them too much." Like when we go to school or work, we think about it the first time, the path we're going after, the first couple times, not so much. For example, we have two frames here, the one on the left, one on the right. If the same piece of art was in both, most people would just assume, oh, the one on the left is a much better, more expensive piece of art. The one on the right in the wooden frame, not so much. Again, just a simple frame. Not even aware of it. We just assume these things because of the framing device. Some of you may be making some kind of visualization infographic based on a tech-related phenomenon. Here's a couple of really simple ones. This simple iPhone or smartphone case could be used to frame a chat discussion between two people about a tech-related phenomenon. You could also use this, a desktop computer, as again some kind of frame for some kind of interface that you're talking about, something that deals with computing. That's great and all for tech-related things, but what about more traditional analog frames or framing devices? Where are things in the natural world that we could use for frames? Here's a bunch. Like, say if you're doing something about the conversation, analog, old school, you might have a lined piece of paper. Maybe you're talking about something outside, you could use a window pane. How about a door pane or a door and put something in the different panels if there's a wooden panel with the door? If you have a wall panel and it's wooden, you could also frame things on that. Maybe use a bicycle wheel, put something in the area between the different spokes. Maybe use a picture frame if you're doing something about the home or a family. You could also use the body of a house. Again, very traditional analog things that can be used as framings for your infographic or visualization. May want to do some other digital frames or framing devices for, again, a thing in tech. Here are some other ones you could use. Typical home pages. Say if you have a phenomenon that deals with social media, you could use a Facebook, like a fake page or a fake Twitter page, make that up, and then put the phenomenon you're visualizing within that frame. Maybe doing something about search, you could do something with Google, maybe Instagram. Maybe you can use even an old school blue homepage like the following. Remember those old school home pages back when the internet first started? They looked something like this, really garish. You could also use some really traditional analog backgrounds as framing devices. Some things that we find in nature. For example, a cityscape or a skyline if you're talking about a municipal phenomenon. Maybe a mountain range as a backdrop, as a background for something in the outdoors. Maybe you could use water, ocean, river, maybe use forest and trees, maybe use a brick building with windows as, again, a framing device that's used as the frame for whatever phenomenon you're dealing with. Some of you may want to use photos. What I'd highly suggest in different software packages like Adobe Illustrator, you have a thing called the Gaussian blur. I'll give you two examples. On the left is a picture of a tricycle chained. And then on the right is with the Gaussian blur. So what you'd find is if you use this as a backdrop for your visualization or infographic, the one on the left would just be too detailed. It would take too much focus away from whatever you're dealing with. The one on the right, because it's soft focus, you can see it if you want to see it, but you can ignore it if you put text on top of it. Well, that was our today's lecture on framing. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day.